Hey guys, Dave Keller here with Market Misbehavior. Wanted to share a quote from William Poland, who said, "Information is a source of learning, but unless it is organized, processed, and available to the right people in a format for decision making, it is a burden, not a benefit." We have so much information available to us as investors, and exponentially more, I feel like, is added every year. So the question is always, how do you manage this fire hose of ideas, of insights, of commentary, of data just coming your way, and how do you make sense of all of it? Three tips I will give you today. One is quantity, second is quality, and the third is organization. So first off, quantity. So the first suggestion I have for you is tap the brakes a bit on the quantity of information that you are consuming. I've often joked to my peers that you could spend the entire day from market open to market close just reading, just consuming real-time commentary about what's happening. But in reality, you really don't need to know second to second, tick by tick, what's happening with gold or the S&P or oil or a certain stock, right? At the end of the day, it's all about how these investments, how these prices are evolving over time. So you need to have a regular process for reviewing that development. And you also want to make sure that you're consuming information that's going to help you come to a good decision. But you have to limit the quantity. So my first suggestion is be deliberate and be thoughtful about how much you're consuming, and only do it at certain points during the day. Because if you just read anything that comes along your way, you're going to be distracted from the core of what you're trying to do. So quantity, make sure it's limited, and be thoughtful about when you're going after it. But it's not just about quantity, it's also about quality. My personal trainer was telling me, I was asking him recently about nutrition, and I asked him about calorie counting and said, look, would you suggest some sort of calorie counting, 2,100 calories a day or something like that, and just tracking how I am just as a way to get, stay on top of things. He said, all right, I'll allow that, but that can't be the only thing you do. And he said, here's why. Let's say you had a meal of 1,000 calories, and it was broccoli and whole grains, vegetables, healthy things, or you have 1,000-calorie meal and it's chocolate cheesecake. It's like one of those two is actually a lot better than the other, and it's going to give your body what you need. So it's not just about the quantity, the calories that you're putting in there. It's also about the quality, what types of things. And in nutrition, it's things measured like macros, right? So protein, carbohydrates, fat content. These are the things that help you understand the types of calories, the quality of the fuel that you're putting in your body. And I think with investment wisdom, with insights, with data, it's the same thing, right? There is a range of quality from really valuable to not so valuable. So what you want to do is not just focus on limited quantities, but high quality. So make sure that things that you are focusing your time on are worth paying attention to. And so have some process of regularly tracking what do you really think is valuable, what's really helping you make decisions easier, more efficient, more effective, what's really is it not really adding value to you, and you put that aside and have some period, maybe once a month, where you go back and review what all are you consuming and what's helping you and what isn't. Make sure you keep the quality high. The third thing, so quantity, quality, and then the third idea is in terms of organization. So how are you organizing all these ideas? And I would say this, I mentioned earlier, the time that you consume information, consume data is actually really important. So what you don't want to do is just read something or consume it the moment it pops in front of you, right? The moment your email newsletter hits and it's some update on the market, that might not be the right time for you to be consuming it. So I use a couple things. I use two things in particular. One is Pocket, which is just a way to save it for later. And there are other programs that allow you to save content, websites or something like that for later. I just basically tag the website and it goes to my Pocket feed, and then later I'm able to do consume it at the time when I want to thoughtfully go in and say I'm going to spend 30 minutes reading the latest comments that I might want to pay attention to. Feedly is another one that I use to track blogs and RSS feeds as a way to organize what smart people are saying that I want to pay attention to. Then the other one in terms of organization is Evernote, or some way that you can capture your ideas. So when I read a book, I will take notes right into the book, treat it like a workbook, and then I will, at some point, take all the notes from my book and put it as a one-page quick note into Evernote. And then you can search by text, you can search by quotes, ideas, and it's a great way to keep track of insights that are going to stand the test of time. That's more long-form content, timeless investment wisdom, those sorts of things that I might want to refer to years down the road. So my three suggestions, and again, the point of the benefit we have is we have a ton of good information around us. The challenge is managing that and consuming it in a reasonable way. And my three suggestions for you are quantity, quality, and organization. If this sort of thinking about your investment process and decision making is of interest to you, I hope you watch some of my other videos on the Market Misbehavior YouTube channel. Thanks so much.